At it again, and Republican Senator Tom Cotton just put on a master class on how to handle left-wing propaganda media. This guy, Republicans, all Republican politicians need to watch this interview because this is how you get it done. This is how you do it. Okay, the attacks on Republicans and the softball questions to Democrats, it's got to stop. And if they don't want to stop it, then this is how you counteract it. All right, we're gonna be diving into this interview from CNN with Tom Cotton and what's her name, Caitlin Collins, who I'm sure you guys are familiar with. I believe what wasn't that Caitlin Collins where Trump was like, "You are a very nasty person." Wasn't that Caitlin from that what was it oh crap, was that last year? I believe it was last year. I think that was Caitlin, where he was like, "You are a very nasty person," and like everybody laughed. I'm pretty sure it was Caitlin. But with that being said, let's dive in.
Senator, it's great to have you here. As I noted a second ago, you worked alongside Vice President Harris when she was in the Senate. Donald Trump is standing by his comments tonight. In your view, are those comments defensible, Senator?
Caitlin, of course. First off, it's refreshing to see a presidential candidate who's willing to go in front of the media, something that Donald Trump knew would be a tough interview. It turned out to be a hostile, adversarial interview, but he's been doing that for 9 years. Kamala Harris, meanwhile, has been hiding out for the 10 days that she's been a president.
It was more than hostile. I mean, goodness gracious, they attacked that man left and right, and center. And he knew it was coming, but he still showed up anyway. Unlike Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be blackity black, but she couldn't show up for the Black Journalists Convention. But she's supposed to be blackity black. But the racist guy, or the guy that they call racist, was the one that actually showed up, even though he knew it was going to be hostile territory. So I wonder who actually cares. The person that actually shows up, or the person that's just too busy pandering? I think that one's easy.
Presidential nominee. Before then, she used to do interviews every 5 days or so, but now she hasn't faced any media at all. I guess she thinks she can hide out for 100 days until this election. More fundamentally, the issue...
Well, she hasn't had time to set up an interview, get all the questions, formulate all the answers with her Democrat elites, right? She hasn't had enough time to do all that. But trust me, when she does, she'll be doing some interviews, and they'll be scripted as usual. And you'll be able to tell they're scripted. You know, like you could just feel when someone is just like speaking, like Trump, when someone is just talking, versus when they've practiced and rehearsed these lines and these questions. At least I feel like I can see when people are doing either one of the two. You can tell Trump is just talking, right? It's just a conversation. He ain't getting no questions ahead of time. He didn't prepare for anything. Like, it's just, all right, yeah, I'll show up. What time and what place? All right, I'm here. What question you got? You know? Kamala and Democrats, no, we're going to need the questions sent over to us, and we're going to need a couple of months. Just go and do the interview. But of course they can't, because their policies are absolutely garbage, so they have to be able to get some talking points to be able to spin it, make it sound good and fluffy, or be able to deflect in a colorful way whatever question comes their way.
Isn't what race Kamala Harris identifies as. It's the fact that she identifies as a San Francisco liberal. She has a long record, not just as vice president, of being Joe Biden's border czar, standing by the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal, but running for president herself. She said she was going to take away your health insurance on the job, while she was going to give health insurance to illegal aliens, and that we'd have a lot more of them, because she promised that she would decriminalize illegal immigration. She cast the deciding votes as vice president in the Senate for the trillions of dollars of spending that has unleashed inflation on families that make it harder for them to make ends meet. Kamala Harris is a dangerous San Francisco liberal, and that's what really matters to Americans.
Yeah, I didn't hear Donald Trump bring up any of her policy positions today or stances when he was on that stage. But your argument is that just because she hasn't
because they were too busy attacking him the entire time.
Done an interview since she became the top of the ticket, that it's okay to question what her race is?
Well, Caitlin, if you didn't hear Donald Trump talking about her positions and his record, then you didn't watch the interview. It went on for more than 30 minutes.
I did watch the interview,
vast majority
Senator.
of it was Donald Trump talking. The vast majority of it, Caitlin, was Donald Trump talking about his record, contrasting it to the Biden-Harris record of higher inflation and wide open borders and war and chaos around the world, and pointing out that she has said things like she wants to eliminate the immigration police, and that she believes that illegal immigration should be decriminalized, and she wants to confiscate private firearms. These are all indisputable things.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I got the video clips saved. I don't have them ready to show you right now. I'm gonna be completely honest, but I'll put them in a YouTube short. If I forget, remind me. Kamala Harris specifically said she wants to do a mandatory buyback of assault weapons. That's a fact. I got the footage. I could say for a fact she said that. I have the video. I don't have it prepared for you right now, but I got the video. Also, and like I said, I'll put these in some YouTube shorts, so be looking out for those. If you don't watch my YouTube shorts, make sure you're checking out my YouTube shorts. I drop lots of them. But also, she said, I forgot exactly. She said, I was a prosecutor or something. I might get the exact wording wrong, so forgive me. Y'all know I'm always transparent. But I think she said something along the lines of, I'm a prosecutor, so I've dealt with a lot of criminals, and being an illegal alien is not a crime, or something along those lines. So coming to this country illegally is not a crime. Okay. Interesting. All right. Interesting. But she said she's going to solve the border problem. Okay. How exactly are you going to solve that, Kamala? Just by letting the people in? See, this is the thing that, and I think Republicans need to call Democrats out on it. I'm going to try to make this quick because this video is a little longer. But force Democrats to say exactly how they're going to solve the border issue. Now, I guarantee you, once you force them to say how they're going to solve it, they're going to say, we're going to put more resources down at the border in order to process people. So they're just going to be letting in more folks. It's not like a close the border kind of situation. No. We're going to send more resources there so that we can just process people into the country faster. That's how they solve the border issue. Just watch. Anyway, let's continue.
On her record, Caitlin, there's videotape of them. Have you shown that videotape in the last 10 days since she became the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party?
Senator,
nope.
When she promises to rip away health insurance?
We have talked about her past positions and the reversals of those, and we've delved into all of that because that's actually what voters care about. But when your party's nominee is on stage telling a panel of 3 black women that the first black woman to serve as vice president hasn't always identified as black, how does that help your party win elections?
She hasn't identified as black. I got the videotapes. I showed y'all those yesterday. So I don't know why lamestream media keeps trying to push this narrative that she's all of a sudden black. And a woman. From the same people who allegedly can't define what that is. All right.
Well, Donald Trump said that what matters is that she identifies as a dangerous San Francisco liberal. It's not what race she identifies as, but what she identifies
focused on race in that comment,
what's going to make
Senator.
a difference. Caitlin, the interview was more than 30 minutes long, which is 30 minutes longer than Kamala Harris has had an interview with anyone since she became the presidential nominee. The vast majority of the interview was talking about Kamala Harris's dangerous record on our wide open border, on higher taxes, on taking away health insurance on the job and giving health insurance to illegal aliens. The vast majority of that interview was contrasting the Biden-Harris record and Harris's record from the first time she ran for president to the Trump-era record. That's a contrast that Donald Trump will win every day of the week.
I know you don't like her policies, and you talk about, you call her the San Francisco liberal. I saw you saying that with Jake Tapper the other day, but that was not Donald Trump's main point today when he was asked about your Republican colleagues on the Hill who refer to her as a DEI hire. He was asked if he believes that she's only on the ticket because she's a black woman. And then he said that she doesn't always claim to be black, which is not true. But does anything that she has or hasn't said about her heritage have anything to do with her qualifications to be in the Oval Office?
Well, no, Caitlin, that's not what President Trump said. He said he didn't even know what Rachel Scott meant by a DEI hire, and he had no idea why Joe Biden hired her. What really matters is whether the American people want to hire her, given her record. And I promise you, if you think things have been bad for the last 4 years under Joe Biden, the worst is yet to come if Kamala Harris is the president.
I just want to quote his words to you, Senator. He said, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?" You can defend those comments tonight?
Notice how he answered that already several times, but she keeps wanting to spin back to it. You see what they do? Like if they don't get you in the gotcha moment, they keep trying to repeat it. Oh, he knows the comments that he said. She's already asked it several times. He knows exactly what Trump said, but she has to bring it back up because they want to push this certain narrative. Oh, Trump's racist. Trump racist. Coming from the same folks who, oh, well, you shouldn't be judging people by the color of their skin. They're the ones that want to focus on skin color. Trump just mentioned the fact, like, she ain't never claimed to be black until recently. I got the video footage. If anybody can show me a video where Kamala is proud to be black from back in the day, send it my way, please. I would love to see it. Because I ain't found not a one. Not a single one. She's always talking about being Indian, South Indian. Proud of it too, which she should be. You should be proud of who you are. Ain't nothing wrong. Let me make this clear as well. There's nothing wrong with being Indian. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with being Indian. Be Indian and be proud. Say it loud and proud. I'm black and I'm proud. If you're white, you could be proud. If you're Asian, you could be proud. If you're Indian, you could be proud. Ain't nothing wrong with being who you are. But don't lie about it. Don't be an Indian and say that you're black simply because, you know, your pops is from Jamaica or something. Like, come on now. Stop it with the nonsense. Or just for votes. Come on. Stop it.
And he also said either is fine, both is fine. He loves African Americans, he loves Indian Americans, he loves all Americans. The point is that we don't know where she stands politically because she spent her entire life as a dangerous San Francisco liberal, and now in the last 10 days she's tried to flip-flop on every single position. Well, I should say she hasn't tried to flip-flop because she's sending out anonymous campaign aides to say that she no longer holds views that she held when she ran for president in her own right. When is she going to come on Caitlin Collins' show or Jake Tapper's show or go on 60 Minutes or have an unscripted press conference and answer to the American people where she stands on the issues that matter to them, on whether or not they can pay the bills on July 31st at the end of the month, whether or not they're going to be able to pay them next month, whether or not we're going to have another 10 million illegal aliens in
Senator,
our country under a Kamala Harris presidency.
We have had that conversation about her policy views, but how does her changing her views on her policy justify having the Republican nominee questioning her race? Does that increase or decrease your party's chances of winning in November?
Well, Caitlin, you haven't had that conversation with Kamala Harris because she's been hiding out.
I want to have this conversation with you,
Senator.
Senator.
Just like Joe Biden hid out before her. And my point is, when are you and the rest of the media going to demand that Kamala Harris come out and answer questions in an unscripted format about where she stands for this country, as opposed to continuing to focus on what Donald Trump said today? You know, 4 years ago, Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Could you imagine a more insulting comment? Joe Biden is presuming to judge the political views of 1/8 of our fellow citizens based on their skin color. Did you ever ask Kamala Harris to condemn his remarks?
There are 33.
Nope, never did. Bro, this is how you get it done. This is how you do it. Bro, she's asked him the same question like 4 or 5 times now. The same exact question, just in different ways. He's answered it. Why do you keep asking? It's because they want something to rile. This is also a thing. This is also why you know they're losing. You know they're losing. This is how you know. Because if you're winning, you wouldn't have to do this type of stuff. You wouldn't.
Or ask her if that was racist?
This is a question. You're a Republican senator, so I want to ask you about the Republican nominee.
Did you ask Kamala Harris? Caitlin, did you ask Kamala Harris why she's willing to serve as vice president for a man she essentially called racist and a segregationist? Have you or anyone else in the media asked Kamala Harris those questions, Caitlin?
Senator, trust me, I covered the Biden-Harris White House. We obviously have asked for her to come on, but my question is for you about this. Donald Trump's pick for VP once questioned whether he was America's Hitler. But Senator, before you go, I do want to ask you a question on Israel tonight, because before everything happened today in Chicago, a top Hamas leader was killed in the Iranian capital overnight. Israel has not yet claimed responsibility.
All right, we're getting that there. We ain't going to get into that conversation. Not today, at least. Not today, because this video is already getting up there. But, yeah, so you saw exactly how Republicans should be. And somebody else did this, too. I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Trump, obviously, but Trump has been pretty good in his interviews and not taking the bait when they try to get him in a gotcha moment. Like, I believe Caitlin Collins tried to get him in a gotcha moment. Was that last year? I believe it was last year. That moment where he was like, I just want people to stop dying. You know, I believe that was Caitlin Collins. But so, yeah, Trump's done well. But I believe there was another Republican that had an interview that was similar to this. And they went about it the same way that Tom Cotton did. And I just absolutely loved it. And more Republicans should go into interviews and answer these questions the same way, the same exact way. Don't fall for the gotcha moment, because they're going to continue to try to do it. Gotcha, 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 gotcha until they finally get you, right? She literally asked him that question 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times. I lost count. You know, I just stopped counting at a certain point. Like it was just getting ridiculous. You spent a whole 7.5 minutes asking this man the same exact question over and over and over after he already answered it, because he didn't answer it in the way that you wanted him to answer it, and he wasn't going to. Absolutely loved it. Masterclass. I just wish all Republicans would watch this video right here. Perfectly on point. But as always, y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.